Hello.
I did that totally wrong. I apologize. Yes, hello, welcome everyone. Oh, I got to get back into the comments here so people can start commenting. We're live.
Yep.
So we're 2 minutes behind, but that's all right. We were
Yeah.
chit-chatting. So
we can make it up in the end. We always do.
yes, absolutely. So welcome everyone. It's Thursday, so that means you're pretty much stuck with Dan and I for at least the next hour.
Mm-hmm.
Just chit-chatting, catching up, and I have some news later on that people are going to enjoy hearing. So about a certain guest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So,
hello, Mark. Mark Allen Bazance is on from my groups. Hello, Mark. Happy 4th to you too. And Valerie Bachman is on.
My Aunt Val that watches both you and my show. So that's always nice. I'm glad I created that Facebook for her so that way she had Facebook.
Well, good. Awesome. Glad you're using it, and you're using it for good purposes, watching our shows.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I think that's a little bit better. Ooh, I look pretty good. Okay. Yeah. Of course, my grandmother is here. Welcome. My other aunt, my Aunt Steph is here. My sister is here. Welcome. They're all pouring in tonight. I have to say that I was impressed with last week's show and very happy that you invited him on as a guest. So a lot of people have watched that show. So, yeah.
I was really surprised when I first invited him to come on. He was a bit hesitant because he had done some written interviews. People give him like a script of questions and he fills it out. I don't believe he's done any live interview like that on radio, podcast, television, anything like that. And that's something I found over the years, meeting and talking to a lot of celebrities from all the different grades of celebrity, is that people who are like him, who are do the grunt work, the background, the filler, all that for TV shows, they just kind of get overlooked. I think they have some of the best stories because they're there all the time. They're in, and within a couple weeks, some of these people are gone from sci-fi shows to drama shows to a soap opera to a sitcom because they're in everything. And that's their job, that's their work. And come on, the stuff that can come out of them stories is just gold.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a great show. Tim did great. I'm really glad he came on.
And he needs to come back on. We need to have him on again at some point.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah. So as more and more people are pouring in to watch the show, don't forget to like. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Get that notification whenever we decide to go live. So, yeah. And it's July. It's July 1st. I can't believe it's July already.
Yeah. Wasn't it like March 2020 yesterday? I mean, I've lost track of years now.
Yeah. It's July already. I feel like it's going really, really fast. But that's okay because my vacation is coming up and I'm getting ready to go. So, yeah.
Well, and while you're at it, like the show and go on to Facebook and share it. Let people, or should be on Facebook, go on there, click that little share button, let people know about the show. So people who don't watch can learn and enjoy the glory that is the Brian and Dan Hour. Got to get that straight. The Brian and Dan Hour.
The Brian and Dan Hour. That's us. Yes. Yep. So, yeah. And then you get just Daniel tomorrow.
Yep. I'm live tomorrow night. I didn't know if I was going to be going live on this Friday or tomorrow because I didn't know how this weekend looked, but everything's worked out to where I'm open. So tomorrow I will be doing my live show. And the good thing is my show is just me chatting about my story and stories and stuff, but I also read a new chapter into an ongoing series. And so if you want to go back, you can watch the old episodes in order and catch up. So that's the fun part. So you can always watch the old ones, watch the new one.
Very nice, very nice. And what book are you reading right now again?
Right now, I am reading through the Joshua of Egypt,
Egypt,
Wrath of
yes.
Olympus.
Okay.
This is a fantasy series that I have not published yet. I've never made public at all. So this is totally new to everybody, which is kind of neat because that gives me something different and new to talk about. And it's also encouraging me because once I get done with this book, I'm done with what I've written so far, but I haven't finished writing the actual series. So when I get done with this, I'm going to feel the need to finish it. Cape Cod. Amber's going to Cape Cod. Isn't that where you're going?
So yes, so that is my aunt. So I will be meeting her down there. She'll already be there before me. So unfortunately, I have to wait a little bit to get my week worth of vacation. I'm surprised they gave me a week, considering I've only been there since January. But no, they're like, no, take a week, because I'd only requested 4 days off. But they're like, no, you need to take a week. Just take a week. So it would be nice to leave and come back, refreshed and whatnot, because of what I'm going through with back to school issues right now. So it's a mess. But yeah, so I was like, okay. So yeah, I'll be doing a show from there.
Have you been to Cape Cod much before?
I've only been to Cape Cod for the first time. I think that was the last time I went out, and I stayed with her at her condo. That was the first time I have ever been to Cape Cod, and I've lived in Massachusetts for almost my entire life. I seldom go to Boston. If you don't have to go to Boston, don't go to Boston. Especially people in Mass will understand what I'm saying, because it's just so horrible. It really is. But I have been to Boston. I enjoyed it very much, walking around, seeing all the historical stuff. So yeah, I could have come for the whole week, Steph, but unfortunately, I didn't plan it out right. So, but yeah, so no, I'm going to be there for 4 days. So it's going to be nice. I'm going to do some lighthouses and the lighthouses. Yep, I'm going to do some lighthouses. So I don't know what else. Food. I don't normally swim in the ocean, so I don't really care too much for the beach, but I'll walk the beach, I guess. So, but yeah. And then that first Thursday, I'll be doing a show. My Aunt Val will be there as well. So we're also going to be celebrating her birthday.
Nice.
So yeah, I won't be there the day of her birthday, but I will be there to celebrate my Aunt Val's birthday. Whoop, whoop. So yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm not much of an ocean person, but I wouldn't mind seeing Cape Cod just because it's a history. I love history. I just go up there and check that out. I do like lighthouses. So far living in Michigan, that's something we really have enjoyed, is we've gone to 4 or 5 very special lighthouses all on Michigan shore. Now, Michigan as a state has more lighthouses than any other state in the nation.
Yeah.
But that's because it's all surrounded on 3 sides by water. So lots of traffic in that water. So yeah, but it's been fun. One of my philosophies that I came up with when I moved to East Tennessee so many years ago was to not let myself become dismissive of what's around me. And this happened because I met so many people who lived in East Tennessee who were literally right next to the Smoky Mountains, right next to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, right in by all this beautiful stuff, and they were like, I'll visit it someday. I'm like, visit it? It's 20 minutes that way, and they've never been there their whole life. And I just moved there, and I'll say, oh, we just visited Dandridge, and we checked out a little place here. And people are like, oh, that sounds great. Where is that? And I'm like, you live here. It's literally just down the road. And so I realized these people had gained this dismissive attitude because they lived there, because they're around it all the time. And for me, I didn't want to lose that. I wanted to keep that awe, that appreciation of it the whole time. I never let myself let go of that, and always found the mountains beautiful, always found the stuff entertaining. When I moved to Michigan, I'm doing the same thing with a lot of the areas around here. It's very different. I love the mountains. I love Tennessee. Michigan is flat, lots of water, and lots of snow. So I'm learning to enjoy it in its own unique way. And I don't want to lose, especially like the snow. I love snow because I never had it my whole life. And people here groan and grump and complain about the snow. And I'm like, you don't understand. Winter in East Tennessee, winter in Oklahoma is brown, gray, and dead. Nothing's really pretty. It's just kind of lost all of its luster because everything's gone to sleep. Here, everything goes to sleep, but then it gets covered and enchanted with snow and ice. And it's really pretty. I don't want to lose the appreciation of that. So, yeah, people like you're saying, you're going to Cape Cod and going places, explore where you're at.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I never knew that there would be so much different history for each of the lighthouses that we went to. Everyone had a story. Yep. So, and it was very interesting. So I think we did I know I brought Steph and my Aunt Val with us. So yeah, we went to a lighthouse. I think one or two of them. It's very nice property too. It's right there. The ocean's right there. Oh my God, it was fantastic. I really did enjoy myself. And then I did a flea market of all things. I've never been to a flea market or it's almost like a giant tag sale. Almost. It was in the middle of a drive-in movie theater.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I bought a book. Christopher Cowles from Florida. Hello, Christopher. Haven't seen you in a while. More and more people are joining us, so welcome.
You're right about the history. When I'm looking at these lighthouses we go to, every one of them has something phenomenally unique about them that just stands out, and it's like, wow, this is so different. One of the lighthouses in Port Huron here in Michigan, it looks very similar to several lighthouses we've been to. Driving up to it, I'm like, oh, it's nice, but I mean, it's another lighthouse. Then I noticed something. The lighthouse has the basic, pillar shape, but halfway up, it's got the bricks change texture. And I was like, is that an artistic choice? Why did they do that? I thought that, and then I just left it alone and went inside, checked out the museum, looked at the lighthouse, and then they had a little spiel about the fact, well, this lighthouse was independent. They all were until the U.S. Coast Guard took control of all lighthouses so they'd be regulated, but they had to be a certain height. This one was too short. So they literally went in, put a giant crank in there, and cranked it up one layer of brick and added a layer and did it again. So the lighthouse would keep working, but they would lift it until it got to the height that was regulation. So lighthouse was, while it was in operation, was slowly lifted layer by layer until it had enough brick layers to be tall enough. And I was like, that was so cool looking. When we stand there, I'm like, wow, that must have been something to watch them do that.
What do we got here? John Clark. I've seen Oklahoma in winter. My sister lives there. Prefer winter in Colorado. So does she.
I can agree. Colorado has skiing and mountains and snow, and Oklahoma has flat, dry grass that's now cold.
Yeah. And my sister Kayla lives there now. So she's in Oklahoma, so she won't have to worry about the weather up here either. So I'm opposite of you. I don't like the snow. I don't like the ice. Yes, it's pretty to look at, but after a while it gets dirty and it's just horrible until the next snow comes around. But I don't care for driving in it, to be honest with you. But I'm used to it now,
Well, someone said to me very first week I was here in Michigan, because we moved here in winter. Brilliant as that might seem, we moved here in winter, and it was snowing and all, and I had that, oh my gosh, it's snowing. Now I had my mentality of Tennessee coming with me, because I thought, great, it's snowing, so we can't get out. We're going to be inside. I forget it's Michigan. They're used to it. Within minutes of it snowing, they've got the roads clear. They've got all ready to go. There's nobody stopping. And someone said to me, you can complain about the snow, or you can find something to like about the snow. Either way, there's still going to be snow.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I guess, pick your attitude.
That is true. Mark. a fellow writer in my writing group, one that Dan spoke to when he did a Zoom meeting for us at the end of the last year, is moving into a lighthouse as a caretaker with her husband for a year in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
I wonder, is that possibly in the Sault Ste. Marie Lighthouse? Because if that is, it would be quite the coincidence, because my great uncle was the caretaker of the Sault Ste. Marie Lighthouse here in Michigan decades ago. You are kidding. Mark says yes. It's the Sault Ste. Marie Lighthouse. My uncle was the caretaker of the Sault Ste. Marie Lighthouse back when my mother was a little girl, and they came up here and visited him at that lighthouse, 60s, 70s. I can't remember what. I'd have to ask her. It's been quite a while ago. Of course, I wasn't around, but so that's very fascinating.
What a small world. Got all these good people watching. Hello, everyone.
Yes, hello, everybody. And don't forget to give the show a like, share it.
All that good stuff, right?
All the social media things everybody needs to do.
Yeah, sometimes it is a small world. That is true. That is true. So speaking of world, speaking of big things coming up, July 4th is coming. It's Sunday already. I got to work. So in case you need a pencil or pen or Staples on July 4th, Staples is open, folks. Just letting you know that. Why, I don't know, but whatever. Yeah. So are you planning anything big, or do you cook a lot for July 4th? Does your family normally do something?
Before I get to that, my mother's actually on here. Money is a mom, and she says that she
Mama Peyton.
She was in 5th grade when she met her uncle Lighthouse, and that's 55 years ago. So 55 years ago, my family was attending Lighthouse on mom's side. But yeah, for 4th of July, most people love to do, of course, the cookout, going out, cookout, smoker. A few things that I'm not an expert. I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I do love cooking. So one thing I will say is one of the best ways to make corn is to grill it. And a good grilled sweet corn is slightly blackened on the surface. And what you do is you take your corn, you shuck it and all the hairs off of it until it's nice and clean. Wash it, get a little damp, okay? Just a little damp. You don't have to soak it in water. Some people soak theirs in water. You really don't need to. And that's really not necessary. And then take the corn and put it on the low heat part of your grill. What that means is you're going to have your grill with your either charcoal briquettes or your wood or whatever you're going to grill with. There where your flames are over here where you're cooking your meat and other stuff. Put your corn over here, close enough that it's hot, but not right on the fire, because then it will blacken too quickly. It won't cook right through. So get it near, but not on the fire. And so that they say for 4th of July, one of the best ways to do corn is to grill it. It's the healthiest way to do it. And when you're doing that, when you blacken the surface just slightly, you're caramelizing a little bit of the sugar, because corn has a lot of natural sugar in it. And so you're caramelizing it just slightly. So when you eat that corn, it's actually going to be even sweeter. And grilled corn is one of the few corn I know that for me and for some people you can eat without butter or salt or anything on it, because it's such a good flavor. So, but just remember, don't put it directly over the fire. That'll cook it too quickly. You want to put it a little off there, or let it have a little time to roast nicely. Yeah, this week I do a lot of grilled corn indoors. I have a little grill pan on top of the stove, and you can grill it indoors. Do the same thing, but over a fire adds a little bit of smokiness to it as well that can make it taste good. And for grilling, people love to do burgers and hot dogs. Hot dogs are pretty understand how to cook them. For a burger, there's a couple things people do typically wrong when you're grilling a burger. The first mistake you make is you flip it too often. Don't flip it all the time. You want to put it on there. What you're going to do is you're going to put it on the grill, let it cook on one side, sear on one side, flip it over real quick. let it sear on the other side, flip it back over, and this time you're going to let it sit, and you're going to let it cook until it's cooked basically halfway through. And it takes some practice to do this. And then one more flip to cook it on the other side. That last flip is where you're going to start calculating. Do you want medium, rare, or nice and roasted? Well done. So just remember, if you once you flip it back over to that fourth flip is when you start thinking. When you flip it back over, you can cook it just for a little bit longer, and you pretty much have a nice rare to medium rare. If you and you can set that and take it right off. If you want it to be medium, move it to where the corn would be, off the flames, over just heat. That way it cooks without burning the surface. If you want it that nice blackened, well done, leave it over those flames until you're happy. And pretty much you can get there without having to worry calculating. You just wait till you know it's crisp. And people like it all different ways. I like mine medium rare. I like them kind of red in the middle, but not too red. But just remember, if you keep flipping it over and over and over and over again, all you're really doing is losing a lot of flavor, because each time you flip it, is the grease and the juices pool on top. Well, they'll soak back in, but when you flip it, they drip off. So when you're flipping it, you're actually drying out the meat by flipping it too often. So that's the first mistake, is flipping too often. The second mistake, and this is a habit people have, I see it on TV. I see chefs do it on Food Network. Don't press that burger down with your spatula. Don't do that. You know what you're doing? If people love that because it makes a sizzling sound and you're cooking. No, all you're doing is pushing out your juices. That's your flavor. So when you flip your burger over on the grill, no matter when you're flipping it, don't press it down. If your burger's bulging in the center, and some burgers do, they'll really tighten up. Don't get that urge to press it down. Just realize you're going to have a bit of a lumpy hamburger, but it's going to taste good. So that's all right. Don't let yourself get that press down. So those are some grilling tips for the 4th of July. And grilling's great. Just, especially with good weather, get outside, get those grilling going. Hello, Diane Peyton has just joined us. So, hello.
Diane Peyton. What's up, girl? I haven't seen her in a while.
Actually, she joins me on my show once in a while.
Yes, I've noticed. Yes. Yep. I have not seen or heard from Diane. I've been following her posts though. So what's up, girl? Welcome. Mama Peyton's still with us. I don't know what she commented. There's nothing there.
Picture. Unfortunately for us, we're watching this through StreamYard, and in the comment section, it connects to Facebook. So we see your Facebook comment, but links, pictures, GIFs, all that kind of stuff, they don't show up for us. We have to go to Facebook and click on it and find it.
Sorry.
If you have any questions about cooking, grilling out and all that for 4th of July, post it. I'll see if I can answer it. I can't say I can answer them all, but I can see if I can't give you an answer.
Karen Babs, what's up, Karen? An old neighbor of mine.
Hello, Karen?
Yes. Diane says, I know I'm usually asleep. Sometimes the shows are late for me. I apologize. I'm sorry. 8 o'clock is the latest I can go anyways. So trust me, if I could do earlier, I would. So.
Mom posted a picture of someone grilling a steak.
Oh, yes. Yeah. So are you the one that cooks the food? Are you the grill master of your party?
Not really. I know grilling, especially hamburgers, hot dogs, vegetables, stuff like that. But honestly, my dad still likes to do grilling. And like for the 4th, typically for 4th of July, I go to other people's places.
There you go.
Where I live right now, our house is great for like if we have a party indoors. But we have like fireworks and grilling and stuff. We have a good deck, but we don't have a lot of yard, a lot of space out there. So I have friends who do, and so they just invite me to their place. And I don't have to cook. I don't have to do a whole lot of cleaning. I just get to help out a little. I'm good.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Another thing for the 4th, especially if you have guests over and you have people who are vegetarian or vegan or gluten intolerant, there are some grilling options you can use. Of course, for the gluten intolerant people, the just hamburger patty, hot dog without bread is a pretty common thing, but for like the hot dog, get romaine lettuce. A leaf of romaine lettuce can work like a hot dog bun. It holds it just right, so they can put ketchup and mustard on that without having to have a bun, and it's gluten free. But for all of the above, look at grilled vegetables and grilled fruit. There are some really good tasting grilled zucchini, grilled squash. Both of them, you want to cut them in long strips so you can grill them kind of like the hot dog right on there. And both zucchini and squash are great on the grill. Quick to grill, taste wonderful. With a little salt on them, they taste fantastic. Another one that's really good on a grill is pineapple. Grilled pineapple is delicious on a grill.
Okay. Yeah.
And finally, one that I learned by just chance, because I went to somebody's house several years ago and asked, they were making grilled fruit. He grilled bananas.
Really?
I never had thought about grilling a banana. He
No.
sliced them lengthwise once. So it was just one length of a banana, put on the grill really quick, both sides. Again, just like a hot dog, straight down, one on the other side. They blacken real quick. Of course, these are going to cook really quick. Took it off. Now, this was a green banana. He took it off, and I tried it. It tasted like banana pudding. It was so good. The sugars in it caramelized just right.
Oh.
It had that warm flavor, and all it was bananas.
Oh, I'm skipping here. I'm sorry. I'm skipping through. Karen Babs has a question for you, Dan. How long do you cook veggies on the grill?
That's really an eye thing. There's no real timer. Veggies on a grill are not dependent on how much you cook them. Meat needs to be cooked to a certain temperature to be healthy, to be good. Vegetables are all in taste. So when a vegetable has good blackened marks on it where you want it cooked and it dries a little, it's translucent, basically when you know it's cooked, but those black marks are on there, you're done. Basically for vegetables, how long you want to cook them. I would say pay close attention. Whereas meat, you actually put on there, close the lid, and then check on it in a few minutes. Vegetables will cook quickly. Once they reach that nice blackened stage, suddenly they will burn up. I mean, they're a little bag of water and sugar, so
right. Yeah.
bell peppers, and Mom says peaches, grilled peaches. And yes, they are. Grilled peaches are fantastic.
Never had that.
For grilled peach, you can do, you definitely want to use fresh peach, and you can do peach halves, just literally in half. And you take, of course, the pit out of that, and you can grill them. And you can look online, look at Food Network or the Mr. Chef's Kitchen, some good websites. And there's ways to season them, ways to put sugar on them, stuff that you can do to add flavor. In my opinion, for the most part, by grilling them, you're bringing out a lot of their own sweetness and their own flavor and adding a little smokiness to it. I don't think you need to add a whole lot to most fruits and vegetables.
This is making me very hungry because I've never had any of this stuff before. Any of this grilled food. Has anyone else heard of these grilled fruits? Am I the only one who has not had any something like that before? I've heard of the pineapple one. Mm-hmm. I think I might have had that one because I like it when, I would cook the ham and I did the pineapples with the cherries, but sometimes the top of the ham got too close in the oven, so you got charred pineapples towards the top. I don't know if I'm the only one that knows that, but
that happens. Yeah, that happens.
It was good. So yeah, I've had the pineapple on, but not banana.
That was a surprise to me too. I was really hesitant to try grilled banana, but I thought I love banana, so I gave it a bite, and I was like, "Wow!" I mean, it really is. It is stunningly good. So, again, you have to be careful. Mom's got a point. Mom says just past crunchy, so they hold together. That's a good point. When you're grilling, especially fruit, when you're grilling it, there is a fine line between done and falling apart because it's going to burn up, it's going to disintegrate. It's fruit. It's vegetables. They're not, normally long-lasting on a grill top, okay? So quick, pay attention. But that's also the great thing about grilling fruits and vegetables. If you're going to do this, it can be the last thing you do before you serve your dinner, and you can boom, 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 you have it ready to go because you put them on there, you watch them real close, you flip them, and when they're done, you pull them off, and you put them out. They're good to go.
There you go.
Guys, grilled peaches. Not had grilled fruits, but I certainly tried them if someone made them. Oh, grilled watermelon. I have not had grilled watermelon, but I've heard of that.
I can just imagine. I love watermelon.
Hmm. I have a friend who loves watermelon, and so I went to a little Mennonite store in Tennessee, and I bought him pickled watermelon rind.
What?
Yeah, you can eat the whole thing. You can eat the whole thing. So they stripped it and they pickled it in a sweet pickling. I've not tried it yet. He said he loved it, so I don't know. I'm one of these days I might get brave enough to try it myself.
I'd love to see that on camera.
We might have to do that. We might have to do that.
That does not sound sorry, but that does not sound appetizing. I don't know. I'll have to see. Yeah, you're definitely going to have to do a reaction video for that one because that'll give me the information I need. So, yeah.
Well, no. If I'm doing this, I'll get 2 jars and I'll mail one to you.
Oh,
and we can do this together.
okay. All right. No, that's all right. Oh my goodness. Mama Peyton. What's up, Mom? If you see a small grate on top of the grill, it helps, kind of like the grill you use for fish over the campfire. Yes.
And you'll see these in the stores. I saw them today when I was out. In fact, I saw one at like a dollar store, or something real cheap. And they're little square pans with slight lips to them, so stuff doesn't go tumbling off the side too easily. And they have punctured holes throughout them. So instead of just long grate, you have a little more girth underneath it. That's good because you get the flames, you get the heat, but for things like bananas and all that are very flimsy, and so it's going to be a difficult thing. You want to use something. You can use something like that. You don't have to, but you can use something like that. Yeah, watermelon rind actually has a long history of being used in culinary foods, from desserts to relishes and compotes and all. I've never actually had it that I can say, but I do know of it. But I know that you can eat watermelon all the way through the rind, just like an apple. You know, you can eat the whole thing. Yeah, John Clark says that he's had grilled squash. He's a picky eater, didn't like it, but he's right. I'll say this.
Yeah, I've had. Oh, yeah.
You tried grilled squash?
Oh, yes. I love squash. Yeah, it's really good. Yep.
To me, grilled squash tastes a lot like fried squash. It doesn't have the flaky frying on the outside, but it has that flavor. If you like that flavor, it tastes like that.
Yeah.
So for someone like me, I'm not. I don't do a lot of deep fried foods anymore. So grilled squash gives me some of that. Mom, let me eat the pickled watermelon rind. I know what I'll be doing sometime soon. Well, I'll say this: you've gone through the nasty jelly bean shows, so I guess we can make it even.
That was horrible. That was a horrible show. Yeah. Speaking of food, so I've noticed a lot of. I don't know if this has happened to you. So since the pandemic, have you been trying any new foods? Have you found something new that you never thought you would eat, or anything like that? Like out of the blue, you know?
Not really tried something that I wouldn't eat. I'm pretty good about trying stuff. I won't sit back and just say no before I've tried it, because I think that's closed-minded. When it comes to food, I don't like that. But I have, during the pandemic, especially when everything was locked down. It was like you got to cook everything for yourself. The only thing available was grocery stores. And we had a good grocery store right down the street, so I could go get what I needed. So I went online and started researching new soups and stews, because I love making a really good soup or stew. It's just a nice, warm, easy meal to me. And I have a selection I always make: a chicken stew, a beef stew, vegetable soup, and a chicken noodle soup. So I started looking and examining and trying different things, and I ended up taking and creating a new chicken noodle soup that's absolutely fabulous. It's just wonderful. And my thing is I take a recipe, try it, and then I change it. I start to manicure it into what I want. Yes, my mother points out that we've been getting my gaming group to try Southern foods. It's been a hoot. I didn't know. I've grown up Southern for my whole life. Okay. I lived Southern foods. And so I'm up here. I started hosting a game night in my house with some friends of ours, and they're all Michiganders. Okay, that's it. They've only lived in this state. And so I'm making food for them, basic stuff, and then I start bringing out things that I'm used to. Pasta salad, egg salad, things like that. And they give me the funniest look, like I'm serving them Romulan ale. And I'm like, it's good. And they love it. That's the thing is they love the food. So it's like, try it.
Don't tell me that Michigan people don't know what egg salad is. That's my favorite.
It was shocking how many of them had not either ever had it, or they only had it years ago when their mom made it. And I'm like, it's easy to make, and it's great.
It's cheap, folks. It's cheap to make. That's why. I grew up on. Who didn't grow up on, peanut butter and jelly and freaking tuna fish sandwiches and egg salad. Oh, I love egg salad. My problem is I can't just eat 2 sandwiches. I usually have to have like 3 or something. I'm a pig when it comes to egg salad. But yeah, that is shocking. Very surprised, but
I thought it was funny living in Tennessee. I spent a lot of years in a Japanese dance and music school that had a branch in Georgia and Tennessee, and I was the only one in the school who wasn't Japanese. But all these Japanese ladies I was working with had lived in the South for a long time. So they had a blended Okinawan Japanese and Southern food combinations. Now they make rice balls in Japan. Very common. It's like a sandwich in America. You know what a rice ball is?
Yep.
Okay. I was at a just event where we were practicing, and one of the ladies said, "Oh, here is rice ball you would like to have for lunch." I was like, "Okay, I'm expecting miso or one of the basic things that is in Japanese rice ball." I start eating it, and it's a tuna salad, the old-fashioned American tuna salad. And I was like, "Tuna salad?" She goes, "Oh, that's how my husband will eat it because her husband's American."
Right.
So the rice ball, as long as it has tuna salad in it, that was good. I was really impressed with it. Oh, my father's Ron, so my mother and father out on our deck enjoying the fire pit, which is a lovely evening here. So I fully commend that. I would be out there with them too.
Must be nice. It's raining here.
It was pouring the last few days here, so we have our day off, and I'm glad.
This is the second day in a row. Yesterday we had some strong storms come through. Unfortunately, it didn't blow anyone away that I didn't like, and but yeah, we had some weather and stuff. But no, the only reason why I asked about the food is because I have found something that I enjoy so much. And it's funny because when I talk to people about it or bringing it up in a conversation, nobody knows what it is. They've never heard of it. So I'm going to ask you, have you ever heard of or had Biscoff?
Yeah. Biscoff cookies?
Thank
I
God.
have like a 12-pack of them sitting in my kitchen right now.
Well, I mean, I bought a whole box in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but I really love these things. Is anyone else eat these things? Biscoff? This is the best thing in the entire world, Dan. I'm telling you. I've been eating them left and right because I found these at Ocean State Job Lot, by the way. That's where they sold them. And then I somehow ran across, I was looking for Reese's peanut butter. It's in the orange, says Reese's on it, whatever. All of a sudden I saw a jar of Biscoff, but it's a cookie spread. It's not like peanut butter. But oh my God.
It's just like that stuff mashed up.
Yes. Yeah. And then I just found out they make ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is an amazing thing. But people are like, what? I've never heard of that. And I'm just like,
I have that too. Biscoff, they're Biscoff. They're Biscoff cookies. And they primarily, for a long time, were only given out on Delta Airlines.
Oh.
they were the cookie that you would get instead of crackers. You would get these cookies, and my
Yeah.
father, flying for his business all the time, would end up getting these Bischoff cookies. And when he came back to home, he was like, "I love these. Where can we find these?" And for the longest time, we couldn't find them anywhere. When he traveled, he'd bring a whole armload of them home because the stewardess would give him a whole bunch of them to bring back.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, we started finding them in the stores, and we now go to Sam's or Costco, and they have them in bulk. And I noticed they have the spread, they have all kinds of stuff. And yes, Bischoff cookies, they're a shortbread style cookie, and they're fantastic. I love them.
Yes, I mean it's probably because I am a fan of shortbread, which I just bought some tonight. But it's got a distinct taste to it, though. But it's pretty much what do they call this? Is this a tea biscuit? This is it's meant with a cup of tea or some coffee, whatever. But it's Lotus Biscoff, yeah. But I just got into the spread. And now I just found the spread with the crunchy because it's smashed up cookies inside the spread. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's the best stuff in the world, people. But the problem is the sugar content in these things is off the charts. That's probably why I like them, because they're sweet.
They're very sweet.
Yes, it's got a lot of sugar in it. But yeah, so... See, people, I don't understand. Okay, so Karen, egg salad with bacon bits. Going back to the egg salad story. Of course, Karen, you've never heard of it. No surprise that no one's heard of it. My sister as well. I have never seen or heard of them. Well, they exist, folks. They're not like I'm not thinking these are so good. So yeah.
Honestly, you ask how what does it taste like? It's kind of hard to describe. It's kind of like a caramelized sugar in a shortbread. Very warm and bready, sweet.
Yeah, and it's almost like I don't want to say molasses, but it's got to be made with something. It's got that tang, and I'm gonna figure it out. But they're so good; they really are good, people. So yeah. But anyways,
this show brought to you by Biscoff Cookies.
That's right. I love you, Biscoff. Please send me some free cookies. Please send them to me. I mean, I have literally a case, and I'll show you because I can't stop eating them. Oh my god.
I'll be right back. You keep up.
Yeah. Look at. They come in a sleeve, folks. A sleeve, and I get how many of these? 6. 6 in a box. Look at that. $5.99. Ocean State Job Lot, and online they're like $40 normally. But anyway, so oh my god, they're good. Okay. But okay. Oh, did I show you? So see, look at that.
Okay.
Look at that. Great minds think alike, folks. And this is a whole case, though. And you get 6 sleeves of individual. But you know what stinks? These are individually wrapped.
See, these aren't. When I get from, I think they're from Costco. They come like that in a sleeve, and the sleeve is there's just cookies in there.
I can't find those. But anyways, yeah, I can't find them. Karen says I'll have to try them. It's really good.
Oh yeah.
And you only have 1 sleeve left. That's right. But there's another box down there that I haven't even opened yet. So I have plenty. Oh my goodness, yeah. Seen those at BJ's? Yeah, they do sell them at. What do you mean they sell them at BJ's? I've been in there. I have not seen these. Don't tell me that, Karen, because I'm gonna have to make a trip to BJ's tomorrow. I have to go back to town. Let's see. John Clark. My grandfather worked for Keebler's, so we always had Keebler's. I love Keebler's too. I shouldn't, but I do. I love Vienna fingers.
Oh yeah. Oh, those are good.
I love them. And the double stuffed fudge Keebler guy there. So yeah.
And see, my family, I grew up with cookie makers. I mean, I make chocolate chip cookies that I win awards for. So we didn't buy a lot of cookies out. We always made cookies at home. So to me, store-bought cookies were either gross because they weren't good like homemade, or they were some of them really good, but I barely ever had them. I had them at school parties or something because at home we'd make our own cookies. So
There you go. Yeah. I get that. Diane Pate, I don't think they would be good for my Weight Watchers program. Diane, let me tell you something. So most gas stations, or you can find them in the cookie aisle, are the Weight Watchers cookies there. They're in a green package. I used to sell them at the gas stations. They come in vanilla or chocolate. And I had a customer that would just buy the entire box, and she would ask us, order more, because they're so good. And I was like, but it's Weight Watchers. They got to taste kind of Weight Watchy. I don't know. There's probably a taste to that. So, but I tried them. I like the vanilla ones. They're very good. So look at those. Find those. I think Big Y sells them. That's one of the grocery stores here. Yeah. Oh my God, Dan, we should have a chocolate chip cookie bake-off. Mine are great.
well, mine have won at least 3 blue ribbons. So
And mine have won nothing because Brian doesn't make cookies.
no, but you eat them. That's important.
I eat them. Yes, I do. I do eat them. Yeah. I love cookies. I love the bad stuff, unfortunately. So
Yeah, I
I have
know.
a sweet tooth. I have a sweet tooth, let me tell you. So yeah, Diane, okie dokie, thank you for the suggestion. I love those Weight Watcher cookies, let me tell you. And they're distinct. It'll say Weight Watchers right on it. It's a green package. You get 4 cookies in the package. They're really, really good. So yeah. I use butter flavored Crisco, not butter. Oh,
Okay.
Have you used that before?
Yes, actually, Diane, that's the basis of the really good cookie is butter flavored Crisco, because butter makes flat cookies.
That is true.
That's a low melting point, and so when you're baking it, it turns liquid way too fast, and your cookie flattens and hardens.
It goes down.
Butter flavored Crisco. Oh yes, that's what I use. Karen says my mom used to make sugar molasses cookies, and they will. Oh, I love molasses cookies. Yeah.
I haven't had one of those in a long time. I don't mind molasses.
I've only had those from the little Mennonite store I used to go to, because the people there, the front half was their grocery store, the back half was a bakery. And so they made fresh breads, fresh cookies, fresh pies, fresh cakes right there, all handmade, homemade by these wonderful Mennonite ladies. And they made big, soft molasses cookies. And I would get a couple of them, because if I got the whole bunch, I would eat all of them at once. So, but they're so good.
Mm-hmm. Love them cakes too. Yes, I love cakes. I've started. I find myself getting cakes from the bakery at the grocery store now, just because I want cake. So, but I've also noticed that they sell individually sliced pieces of cake that you can buy now. I didn't even know they did that. So
I've started noticing that too in grocery stores, that they're like little pieces of like birthday cake.
Yeah, especially the super Walmarts there have the bakery. I love their cakes. But yeah, so yes, Dan, I've been telling people that for years. Yeah, butter does make flat like a pancake. You don't want those type of cookies.
Yeah, I could go through a whole show talking about making cookies, because I've done them. I've competitive at making cookies.
We should do a cooking show, Dan.
That's possible.
See?
Very doable.
It's very doable. I think people would get a kick out of watching you bake something.
Well, actually, you were talking about for the pandemic. During the pandemic, my dad was sent here to work from home, and his little core group that he teaches through the company, they decided to do a project that they were planning to do together, but of course everybody got sent home, and that was making homemade pretzels, big soft pretzels, and they used the Auntie Anne's recipe for making pretzels. And so, and you could have one helper. So my father, who is not a baker or cook in the house, he snagged me, and so for that time I was in his group, and I made big soft pretzels, and they were really good. It was very easy to make. Very easy to make.
I've never made them. I do like soft pretzels, though, with salt. Those big salt. Oh, so good. Yes. Yes, a cooking show. See, Diane thinks just like we do. That would be a good idea, Diane. A cooking show. Oh, thanks, Karen. So we're turning into a cooking show now.
Well, we need a guest. I guess the guest can be an oven and flour. In fact, today I went and got some special milled flour from a mill up in Frankenmuth, Michigan. So.
Yes, you did say you were out and about today.
Yep, and that is this is soft milled cake flour, and it's good for, of course, cakes, pancakes, biscuits, that kind of stuff. If you use it for other things, it doesn't work out so well. But yeah, I won't use it for cookies. It doesn't make good cookies, but it makes fantastic cakes and all. So I can we can walk through a cooking show, easy.
We're going to have to keep that in mind. So, in speaking of future shows, so I know everyone's been hounding me for to get a certain person on the show, and because I think it's a good idea to have Sylvia Schultz come back on now that you're here, and have a true interview discussion with her. Because I think you guys would be perfect. You've talked with her before, but this time we would be face to face. So I'm happy to announce that she has agreed to come on. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for a date, so I'm pretty sure that she will contact me. But she is coming on. So,
yay!
Yeah, yes. My niece. Hey, Haley. Hi. Uncle Brian. Hello, Haley. You should be in bed. Go to bed. So that's going to be fun. I can't wait for her to get back to me and come on. So, and we have potential guests, but some are just proving we got to really get them to come on. So a lot of talking with people to get people on. So I did, however, put a request out I think you're part of the same group as me, come to find out. Are you part of the Star Trek? Okay. Well, that's right. You are, because I was able to tag you. Because I talked with the admin before I posted that about looking for potential Trekkies to come on and chat with us. I don't know. Did you see that post?
I think I did. I've been out of the house so much. I'm trying to follow it through a phone, which isn't as easy for me. I like
true. Yeah. So I thought that would be interesting.
Yep.
Reaching out to people. There's so many different people in those groups. You never know who you're going to come across. So I haven't had anyone agree to come on just yet. So I haven't checked. So I also did that. So, but at least we have the potential of like 2 other guests, but I'm trying to figure out, I think it's time to put an ad out and for us to get some interesting people onto the show. So I'm not only asking you, but I'm also asking everyone else. We need some sort of topic. Is it going to be paranormal? Is that what we want to talk about? Or do we want, any genre, any type of guest or whatnot? So now that I've got Dan, I got to put them to work. We got to get some guests on these shows. So, yeah. Karen says, I got to go. It was nice chatting and watching your show. I'll check it out next time. Thanks for the info, Dan. Good night to both of you. Good night, Karen. Thanks for watching. Next week. You can see us next week, Karen. Same time. So, yeah. Yeah, we need guests. So let us know what you guys want, and we will bring them on. I think it's time to speak with some more authors, I think. And maybe genres.
I think Brian is going to put a poll up on the Brian Shepherd Show page on Facebook that's going to list genres, people, things that would be, and you can add to it, and we'll see what people vote on, see what they want to have on the show.
I could do that. So what would you think? What are the suggestions that you think that I should put out there?
Well, we put out there. Personally, I like interviewing authors, but specifically science fiction or fantasy authors, which can be 2 lines there. I loved listening to. I wasn't part of the interview, but I loved listening to the guy who did the Coca-Cola history. When he's talking about the science and all, history, legitimate history.
Oh, yes. I remember him. Yeah.
Very fascinating there. Of course, we could put on there actors and comedians, musicians. We can now. Before we had a lot. When your former shows, people were calling in and over the phone, which tend to have some issues, especially with comedians and with musicians. But now that we can do it through here, and most humanity now has all these lovely cameras, so you can see stuff. We can get the comedians, musicians, and people like that on, so that they can have more of a platform to work off of. So I think any of those would work. But what would people listening, people watching? What do you want? If you want to have a vote in that, as I said, I'm pretty sure Brian will soon put a poll up there. And you can go and click on the ones that you think you would prefer us to find, search out, and put together.
Sounds like a good idea to me. I'll put it all out there. We'll see what happens. So out of like all these that I'm going to put into the poll, is there a certain ones that I should pick? Not just one, right? We need maybe 1 or 2 types of people coming on.
Oh yeah, I would definitely. I'd look for at least 3 different, very different people groups to bring on, because that way we can. For this, each week isn't the same type of person over and over again, so that you can enjoy one week person where we talked about science fiction in their book, and that next week we can talk to somebody about the like Sylvia, or as Diane says here, psychics. Talk to somebody about more paranormal stuff, writing, whatever there, and then the next week we can have a comedian or musician on to make you laugh or be interesting there. Switch it up. That way we have a variety coming out, instead of just the same thing. Which sometimes the same thing's great, because you have a whole bunch of authors, and authors are brilliant, wonderful people that are great as guests. I should know. So, but I think it'd be good to do at least 3 different people groups. True crime, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I only did true crime once. I believe I only did. I talked to one artist or author about true crime. So yeah, that would be interesting. I agree with that one. So I've pretty much had every single one of those genres on this show, or I've spoken to. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a fan of all of them. Those are the more interesting ones. That's where you can find a lot of interesting books to read. So is in those genres. So yeah. Well, we're gonna kick off with Sylvia Schultz as soon as we know, or I know when she's coming on. I will make sure to post it. She said absolutely, count me in, and now I'm just waiting for the date. That's all I'm waiting for. So, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
So good. Okay, and I'll put the poll up.
And throughout the time, we will have some surprise guests, I hope, that are going to be unique, like Tim, Mr. Tim Perez last week. Guests that are maybe more famous or totally different than you expect, but incredibly fun to listen to. So
I hope so. Yeah,
I hope to do that. Hope to really work that in. But yes, check out that poll and let us know what you want. And don't forget to ask your friends about it. Send people over. If you know somebody who loves science fiction, and we're going to do a sci-fi show, tag them into it. Bring them over to it. Let them see this. We want their questions. We want their conversation. I love asking the questions, but if you have a question, that's awesome. Bring it in.
Absolutely. Sounds good to me. I'm excited. So, because I just am. We're going to get some good people. I've never had any bad guests. I don't think I have, but it's going to be good. So, yes. But that's it. We're over. We went the hour because now it's 9:03. So, it's going to be July 4th. Hopefully everyone has a plan. Be safe this July 4th. I don't know who has fireworks and who doesn't, but I heard there's a fireworks shortage. Did you hear about that? Yep, there is a fireworks shortage. It was on the news just yesterday, was it? Yeah, it was the craziest thing I heard. So add that to the shortage list, which just keeps getting longer and longer.
By the amount of fireworks stands we drove by today, full of fireworks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I live in a state where they are illegal. So, but that does not stop people from buying them from New York or Vermont or Connecticut.
Yep.
But it's going to be raining all weekend. So there is no sunny picnics for us up here in the Northeast. Yeah, still, everyone, happy 4th. And post the pictures of your parties or whatever you're doing. Post them. I want to see what you guys are up to on the 4th. Think of me as I work. I don't even know why, but yeah. So, and be safe. Don't be stupid with fireworks. Play it safe, please.
If you have a backyard fireworks display you're going to put off, like I have some friends doing that, and you want to get a video of it, you can share that, and maybe we can share it live next week.
Absolutely.
Or we'll share your video on our live show, but on our next week we can. If you share a video of your fireworks display, we will share part of it during our show next week. Show off what you're doing.
That would be pretty cool to see people's fireworks. All right. Well, if you guys do fireworks, record it like you said, and we'll show it next Thursday. Yeah. All right. That's it. So other than that, have a great weekend. Dan and I will see you next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can see Dan tomorrow at 9 p.m. technically Eastern Standard Time.
Same place right here, but it'll be just me on the screen.
That's right.
And I'm going to be doing the next chapter. Yep. I'll be in the next chapter of Joshua of Egypt, and we'll be discussing books and fun stuff. So everybody have a wonderful evening. Hope to see you tomorrow. If I don't, then just make sure you have a safe and happy Independence Day. Make sure you keep all of your fingers intact.
Yes. Absolutely. All right, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. If I can find the video. Here it is. Goodbye.